story time about why I'm no longer a Christian and what I learned from that experience. So in my last live, I kind of went over my journey of going into Christianity and coming out of it. And so in this story time, I just want to talk about what I learned while I was in the religion and what I took away from my experience. And so the most important thing that I learned in Christianity was to truly trust myself, right? To trust my guidance, to not take anybody's word for what was being revealed to me and shown to me, to just trust my process. And so one of the things that I realize now that I'm on the other side of that experience is that my soul went through extreme measures to get me out of the religion. And so going through that experience, it was revealed to me through the Bible. So I was reading the Bible, and it was kind of like I was asking for guidance, and my prayers were being answered through the word, through the Bible, through scripture. A lot of my answers was coming from me watching movies or seeing videos, like certain stuff I would ask and I would come across a video, or I'll pray about something and then I'm watching a movie and it may be a particular scene from a movie that's like, oh my goodness, like that's the answer. And it's just this knowing that I've always had since I was little. Really, I was reminded again today, like I've always had this knowing within myself about things. And so going into the religion, it was something that I didn't want to do, but I was guided, and I always trust what's being shown to me and how I'm being guided. And in the beginning, it wasn't always easy to do that. But the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with just trusting the process. And so going back to my prayer, like I said, if you watched the first live, if you haven't, you can go back and watch it if you want to know what that whole experience was like. But for me, in the beginning, I started out with just my Bible, praying, just saying that I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to be a Christian. I just wanted to know God. Hi. And so that was my prayer. I wound up being guided to go to church, and then it wound up being revealed to me that it was all false and I needed to come out of there. So with that being said, like everything that was shown to me was for me, for my soul to learn and grow. And it was the experience that my soul needed. With that being said, like they went through extreme measures to get me out of there. It was like, this is false. This is a lie. And it was very extreme because when I went through it, I wanted to tell everybody. And I thought it was false for everybody, but that wasn't the case. It was just false for me and for me to come up out of there. So what I took away from that experience was, because I didn't understand it, I was upset. I was like, why would I go through all of that for you to show me that it's a lie? And so I spent not a whole lot of time trying to convince other people that it was a lie, but I spent a lot of energy trying to convince people that it was a lie, and what I was being shown, I wanted them to see it, but they wasn't seeing it. And people made me feel like I was crazy. And I'm like, no, I know what I prayed for. I know what was shown to me. And so y'all have to see this. And I'm like, are we reading the same book? Like, how did they not see these scriptures? How are there scholars and, people studying the Bible all the time and they're missing these key points that is being revealed to me? So I didn't get it then. I get it now, and I understand that I needed that for my own growth. And the biggest takeaway that I take away from going into Christianity, and the biggest takeaway is to trust myself. No matter what's going on around me, just trust me. And that is a huge lesson that I'm so grateful for, because even now, being on the other side of it, going into my spiritual awakening, like that lesson is still to this day my foundation. Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like for everybody else. I just have to trust what my soul is showing me for me, because we all come here to experience this life different. The clarity that I received on why people wasn't able to see what was revealed to me, again, because it was for me. And some souls are here to experience Christianity and being a Christian. Some souls are here to experience being a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a Christian family, and I wasn't going to church when I was younger, but then when I grew up, I went, and then it was revealed to me that it all was a lie. My mom's still a Christian. My friends are still Christians, and I respect their path. They respect mine, and we just hold space for each other. It's no, you're right, I'm wrong. And that's another huge lesson that I learned. It's like, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's like, as long as people are trusting their guidance and where they're being led to, and they believe that with their whole heart, nothing else matters. Because my truth may not be your truth, and your truth may not be my truth. And we just have to respect that for each other. And so I'm just learning as I go. Now I have more understanding about just all of it, really. Like, everything has its purpose. Like, when I came out of Christianity, a part of me wanted to try to find something else, but intuitively, I knew that it was all the same, right? Every religion have a part of the truth, and it's really just the same thing with a different name, right? So depending on where you at on your journey, for me, that's what it was. Like, I feel like my soul had done experienced all the religions, and Christianity was like the last one to say, hey, we're not doing that anymore. Because when I came out of that, I was kind of being pulled towards the Israelites, and I was like, nah, that's the same thing. It just looks different. And so then from there, I kind of went through my spiritual awakening. I really been just sitting with myself and just trying to figure out, like, how was I as a kid, and who am I? Like, what am I doing here? Or what am I really doing here? And so one thing that was brought up for me is just like my knowing. This knowing that I've been having that since I was a kid. And I don't always have all the answers about it. I just know what I know. It's like, man, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be a Christian because I already know what this is. But it's like, I needed to experience that to get the lessons that I needed. Another big lesson that I learned being in Christianity was Jesus and who he was, Yahshua, for the people who, are in those foundations. And one thing that I noticed was the way that he walked through life, right? He just knew who he was, right? That's the biggest takeaway. He knew who he was, and he knew he had a direct connection to source. Nobody could tell him anything. He knew who he was from the time he started walking and talking and understanding. He knew exactly why he was here. He knew he didn't need anything to have that connection to source. So that is the biggest takeaway that I took away, was like, I don't need anybody to tell me. I don't need anybody praying for me. I don't need anybody telling me what God said or the divine or whatever you resonate with. Like, you have that direct connection. Nobody is greater than you and your connection to the source. No pastor, no priest, deacons, whoever. Like, none of those titles matter. We are directly connected to the source. Period. So with Christianity and reading the Bible and going through that, it was just like, wow, like he moved through life just knowing who he was, and he didn't let nothing deter him from his path, right? He knew what was going to happen. He knew the things he was going to experience. That still didn't stop him from going, right? So that's how it is with us. Like, we just have to know what our soul came here to experience. Everything is a learning lesson for us to learn and grow and just come back within ourselves and know what our souls came here to do. Like, we need to have that knowing like Jesus had. Knowing who we are and what we came here to do. What is your soul mission this time? What is your soul purpose? What did it come here to experience? Because you may have been born in Christianity, but Christianity may not be your path. You may have been born in a Muslim family, but that may not be your path. Even though you were born in it, does not mean that that's the path that you're supposed to take. And that's the challenging part. That's the hard part, because it's like, oh, that my mom, my dad, you know, my whole family, this is what they know. But it's those souls who just have this internal knowing, like, man, something's not right. Like, this is not it. This is not the thing for me. And so that's why I'm sharing my experience for those people who are feeling lost and confused, like something's wrong with them because they're not connected to the thing that they were born in, like that foundation. They just don't feel the pull towards that because your soul is taking you somewhere else. Your soul is taking you where it needs to go. So it really doesn't matter about how we were raised or what everybody else believed. It's really about trusting your intuition and following it. Like, it's going to bring you to all the places that you need to go. And with the fear, you have to do it afraid and just trust the process. You have to just trust it. That's it. So, another thing that I learned was, don't put in the box the way that you'll get your messages, right? Because it can come from anybody. It can come from anywhere. It can be through, like, my soul and my spiritual team love to use music, movies. Like, I get a lot of messages through movies and music. It can be from a stranger on the street. It can be from a homeless man. Like, you don't know how these messages are going to come to you. So just keep that ear open, right? To hear, because you can be praying for something and then you get your message and it's coming from somebody maybe that you don't really care for, or it's coming through something that you'll never think that it'll come from. And you're like, just missing it, right? It's just going over your head. But those messages can come from anywhere. Anywhere. I'm telling you, a lot of my messages come through movies. Like that clip that I posted on my short video from the Book of Eli. When I watched that movie, my cousin was like so excited. She was like, oh girl, you got to watch this movie. Like, it's powerful. They have so many messages in there. And the message that I got, she was not expecting. She was like, that is not what I was telling you. Like, that was not the takeaway that I thought you were going to get from this message. She was like, no, don't tell nobody that. Like, don't say that. That's not, I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, what my soul was showing me was, with the Bible, it was just showing me like the books wasn't in chronological order. It was showing me that the New Testament was false. the Old Testament, I was kind of questioning that at the time that I watched the movie, and it was questionable. So when I watched that movie in that particular scene, again, if you want to see the scene, you can go and watch my short video, where Denzel Washington is Eli, and he is talking to the guy who's portraying the devil in the movie. And the guy is saying, like, he needs the Bible because people will do whatever he say as long as it's written in the book. And when I heard that, it was like a light bulb went off. I rewinded not once, not twice, but 3 times. I was like, did he just say what I think he just said? And it was like immediately, it was like that aha moment. And my soul was like, you know what? It's time to throw this book in the trash. Now, I'm not telling anybody to throw their Bible in the trash. That's what my soul showed me, and that's what I did. And I have not picked it up since. What I'm saying is know your path. Be so in tune with you that wherever you are on your path, you know that it's your destination, and nothing deters you from that. So again, every soul come here to have an experience. Another thing that was shown to me today was I was kind of wondering why my soul allowed me to start here with my experience going into Christianity, was starting my life. And that stirred up so much for me. It stirred up so many memories. It stirred up a lot. And I was like, wow, that was quite the experience. But I learned so many valuable lessons that I'm so grateful for. And the biggest takeaway is I respect my journey, and I just want people to do the same. And that respect that I have for myself and for my journey allows me to respect everybody else's. So I'm no longer trying to convince anybody about what was shown to me. And I don't run into people trying to convince me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the respect that I have for myself and honoring where I'm at on my journey and honoring other people's paths. I only meet people who do the same. You know what I'm saying? But I know there's a lot of controversy about what religion is the right religion. People condemning people or making people feel bad about their choices. At the end of the day, as long as you know you are where you're supposed to be and you fully trust that, that's all that matters. It don't matter what nobody else think or what nobody else say. And those ones who are trying to defend or condemn, they're probably out of alignment, because when you know your truth, when you know where you are is exactly where you have been guided, you ain't trying to defend that. You just present with knowing what you know, and you're okay with that. So, yeah, that was that. But I learned so many things. Like, I went through the food, like not eating this and not eating that. Like, they have those things in the Bible where it's like, oh, you shouldn't eat this or you shouldn't eat that. And I was like, oh, like, I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, we're not supposed to eat this, so I'm not going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? And then my cousin was like, oh, that was done away with. Like, you can eat whatever you want. It's in the New Testament. And I was like, well, I'm not going to eat it until it's revealed to me that I can eat it. And so I went on those type of journeys when I was in Christianity, and just really learning how to trust me and my inner voice. It was a beautiful process. Like, I'm so grateful for the experience. I'm so grateful for my knowing and understanding of what that whole thing was about. Another thing that I realized too, like just on my journey, there was a lot of moments where I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, I never want to get married, or I never want to have kids, or I don't want to be a Christian. Like, everything that I said I didn't want to do, I wind up doing it. And it has been like the hugest, um, it has been the hugest core unlocks in my soul's journey. Like core values, I guess, for my soul lessons. Because going into Christianity, that was one, right? I was like, did y'all really have to go through those extremes to get me to this point? And then being married was something that I never wanted to do. Me and my cousin would talk about it all the time, like, oh, she always wanted to be married and have kids. When I was younger, I wasn't that girl who was saying, oh, I want to get married, I want to have kids. I was like, nah, I'm good, I don't want it. But I know now that I was saying that because I, I was saying that because internally I knew the challenges that was going to come with those things. Because being married and having kids has caused me to grow in the most painful but also the most beautiful ways, right? And so I'm just noticing a pattern of things that I didn't want, that I said unconsciously, not knowing that it was really a part of my soul's journey in the experience. Like, not because we don't know all the things. We don't know, like, it's not like we come and we remember, oh, I'm gonna go through all of this. No, you just kind of have like this internal knowing. It's like, that's gonna be kind of challenging, so I want to kind of avoid it. So those were three things that I can remember saying so clearly I didn't want, I wind up having, and have learned the most valuable soul lessons. My soul has grown so much from those experiences. And I was like, oh, so that's why I was trying to avoid it. That's why I didn't want it. So it was like that. So, yeah, it's just really making me reflect. I'm so glad that, because I was kind of hesitant at first. I was like, nah, I don't want to talk about that. My soul was like, this is what you're talking about. Like, this is it. This is where you're going to start going live, just story timing. And, I was thinking about all the things about the controversy of me sharing my experience. And at the end of the day, it's like, that don't matter because it was my experience. So if you're offended or triggered by something that I say that was revealed to me, then you need to go within yourself and figure out why. But for me, it's just simply sharing that and realizing that it's everybody's not going to get that, but they may have somebody out there whose soul is like mine, who's in a religion, who's struggling because they don't resonate with it, and they're thinking they're going crazy, or they're feeling like, something's wrong with them. And it's like, nothing's wrong with you. Like, listen to that inner voice. Trust that guidance. Trust that prompting that's telling you it's time to go. Trust that prompting that's telling you something's not right here. Like, I don't know, like this don't align with me. Trust that and move forward. You know what I'm saying? And for those who are in it and know that it's their thing and it's their truth and their belief, you move in that. Like, they move in freely. Like, nobody's trying to, people who are rooted in that and that's a part of their soul experience, you don't see them out here trying to convince people or condemning people because they believe something different. They just enjoying their journey. You know what I'm saying? So Um, that was like the beautiful lessons that I learned. Before, it was hard and challenging because I was like, there is no way that I did all that for nothing. And that's how I feel about a lot of things that I have experienced on my journey. Is you made me do all that for nothing. And then I realized it wasn't for nothing. It was something, because then I see all of the beautiful lessons that I've learned on my path and how much I've grown as a person, and just my love and respect for my journey just allowed me to have love and respect for other people's journey. Like, as long as you know it feels good to your soul, you feel like it aligns with you, trust that, because it may be something that you're meant to do for years, or it may be something that you're just meant to do for a short period of time. Like, I was only in Christianity for, I think, maybe 2 years. So you just never know. You don't know what that path looks like. I just say trust the process, because, you know, what else are you going to do? If you're in something that doesn't align with your soul purpose, it's like your soul is dying. If you're not listening, if you're staying somewhere too long, you know what I'm saying? So you just have to go within yourself and really listen and really pay attention to that, you know? So, yes, trust your process and just keep moving forward like I'm doing. I'm trusting my process. I'm here. I'm being present. Um, I think I'm getting pretty good at not putting expectations on what my soul is showing me and just being present with it. Because if you put your expectations on it, guess what? You can end up with a lot of disappointments. But if you just enjoy the ride and just let it be what it is so many beautiful things come from that. So yeah, just trust it. I know sometimes it's scary. There's a lot of fear around trusting when you don't know, but you have to let your trust be greater than your fear, and do it afraid, and do it with the fear still there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So um I started my podcast, so it's called the Soul Alignment Podcast. And this podcast is where we're going to come together and just build a community to learn and grow. It's for everyone, because the goal is to just understand you and your soul's journey, right? Every soul come here to experience this life, and it looks different for everybody. So the most important part to that is just trusting you and what's being shown to you. No voice outside of you should be greater than that inner voice. So um we're going to talk about many things over there, but yes, I did just start that, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And then I'm just going to be getting on here doing this live so I could just get more comfortable with just sharing my stories and just getting out of my comfort zone is really what this all about. But also just um, working on being comfortable with speaking and sharing in this environment of being live. I'm facing my fear head on. It's like, look, this is another level to level up in your soul's journey and just getting out of your own way. I'm getting out of my own way. So um I'm trying to just see if there's anything else that I want to share here. Mm. Okay, so something to remember is that there is nothing new under the sun. There's absolutely nothing new under the sun. It's just evolving, right? So going within yourself and really tapping into your soul's blueprint and knowing what you came here to do is going to spare you a lot of unnecessary experiences. Knowing when to walk away is going to save you years of unnecessary lessons or added on lessons that you're adding on to your journey that you really didn't necessarily need this time. So, so like for me, going into Christianity, if I wouldn't have trust what was shown to me to come out of there, I would probably still be there. And my soul had already gotten what it needed through for that experience. But I trust the process. Even when people made me look like I was crazy, I trusted. And on the other side of that, I am where I am now. And I know what it is. I understand what it is. And that's it. You just have to trust. Because sometimes what you're being shown is going to be, nobody else is going to be seeing that. Nobody else is being shown that. It's your soul, your lesson. So you have to trust that over anything else. And that comes with trusting you. So you have to start to build that trust with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that and being okay with that. Like, if you have to walk the path alone, you have to be willing to walk that path alone. It's getting kind of dark in here. There we go. So you have to be willing to walk that path alone if it's just you. And sometimes it gets lonely for sure, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? I've always had people there, when I needed them. But for the most part, I have to do the work on my own. Like, and it got pretty lonely sometimes. But I was okay with that. I was okay with being with me, discovering me. And that takes you on a whole nother, well, let me say, it took me on a whole nother journey to a deeper level of self awareness. I'm going within myself, just valuing, appreciating, and loving me unconditionally. My light and my shadow, like embracing all of it and just knowing that I'm whole and complete just the way I am. So that's the journey, and I'm just excited. Like, I'm excited for the things to come and just continuing to grow and evolve and get out of my comfort zone. Because when you're comfortable, you're not growing. Like, growth don't come from being comfortable. It comes from getting uncomfortable and allowing yourself to expand. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's really all I got today. Like, I just, want to keep being consistent with just getting on here and sharing as I'm being guided to. So I really feel like that's it for today. So I will see y'all next time. Peace, love, and light. And y'all have a beautiful day.